Hello and welcome to episode 32 of the D-Hoop University podcast. This is your host, Darrell Harris, also known as D-Hoopster. And number 32, thinking of some of the best to wear that number, it's got to start with Irvin Magic Johnson, does it not? There's a monologue about Magic Johnson that my dad will grace this podcast with whenever we can get him on here. But I kid you not, if you hear this sermon, you won't leave it convinced that Magic Johnson is not arguably the best player of all time and that he was not indeed the person to save the NBA as we know it today. So that's a teaser for another time. But shout out to Magic, shout out to Jay, because we started laughing at his clip from the Team USA doc. The hee hee. Me and my boy J.O. Big Jace in high school saw that when it dropped and were literally cracking jokes about it the rest of our time in high school together. We never forgot that Magic made up that imaginary behind the head pass and that he was on 10 in that documentary. I know you all are familiar with that clip. Shout out to Magic Johnson. Called Shiv and said, hey man, we need you on the pod. We need a casual diehard check-in. That's what this is. So we go to our go-tos. Some fantasy football, some basketball, some building this anticipation for the NBA Cup, and some vibes, of course, off the top. So without further ado, let's talk some hoops.
Nah, bro.
You record enough episodes and you start to feel what it's like to be in front of the camera. Me and Shiv are on take whatever this is and starting this pod because the conversation keeps doing what it has to do in real life. But diplomatic immunity, what? All that peace and that unity, all that weak blank will ruin me? Because they started talking to me like I'm slowing down. The opinions over statistics.
Opinions over statistics, of course.
What up, Shiv?
Man, back like I never left.
And all this glory, man. Last time we were on the pod, it was the pre-free agency palooza. And there's no need in going all the way back, but just know we had darts. We had darts that landed all over that pod.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm not surprised. Man, dude, what's been good? Like, what's on the menu?
Man, I've been busy. I know you had a busy, heavy week. I know it's just we are in the dog days of summer.
Man,
we were starry-eyed in June, but the 110s are kicking in. The heat dome is in place.
Yeah, no,
like you're asking when does it end,
dude?
And we got at least another full month to go.
Every time we go out to the bars here, like you come home, right? You're pretty drunk. You're just like going to bed. But dude, I am like sticking by the end of the night. It is brutal out here, man. And you gotta wear jeans, right? You gotta wear some sort of pants. It's like, dog, I'm cooking bacon in these pants right now. Like, there's no way I'm like out here like doing this. It's crazy. It's crazy. But we're here. We're here now.
We're definitely here, man. And shout outs. You got any shout outs, Shiv?
Shout out to Travis. We're shouting out Travis right now. Travis Scott, Utopia is on the way. If you're not on the wave, if you haven't been on the wave since Mafia, I understand because you got caught up in the whole controversy and the narrative.
Yeah, there was a speed bump. You
like,
yeah.
Rest in peace to the victims, obviously, but that had nothing to do with Travis. And I feel very comfortable sharing that opinion. but he's got an album coming. And if you were on the hype for Astroworld, you understand what it means to be in the calm before the Travis storm, because it's about to be that season.
It's been 5 years, man.
It's been a
It's
while.
been 5 summers.
It's been a long time.
The last
And
summer we got Travis was Astro World in August. I remember because I was at my brother's in North Las Vegas, and
dude,
the one night Astro World dropped. We got a monsoon, and I'm listening to it in the rain, and you hear Stargazer come off the top,
yeah,
and you're just,
and you're
and
just
then
going
5 minutes
crazy.
later, you hear Frank Ocean, and you're like, "Yo, what? We were just getting." Then you hear Drake.
And you're like, dude, that project has aged like so well over
In
the
the
test of time too.
And we
Like
got that in the midst of Mac Miller drops and some other Drake drops, and
Scorpion was
2018 was a really
around.
good
Yeah,
summer. That was a
that
good
was.
summer. And if you need any signs that 2023's got a lot more to go, if you think this Travis wave is about to go down in history of what Utopia is about to be
He's
in the
performing at like the pyramids, bro.
in the real world, bro. Like, this is
Like,
not a concept. This isn't a ghost album. This isn't a thought.
this is a thing. This is a very thing. And it's about to be, I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. I'm super here for it. I'm
Shout out to
also,
Trav, man. Shout out to the arc of the comeback. Shout out to staying down and you know, poking your head out of the clouds when
yeah,
you're ready,
yeah,
and keeping the vision clear. But
yeah.
that's crazy, bro. Utopia was coming after the Mafia escape plan wave.
Dude,
It was coming. It was on the verge then. And hey,
it was.
sometimes
And things
sometimes
happen.
it's just not that time yet.
But it's now. It's coming Friday. I think like I think we're getting something. Maybe it's another single, maybe it's
That's
the whole
that's the
thing.
word I got. That's the word I got today as well. So we will stay tuned and shoot the Diehard University listening party.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll have one.
the after party will be on the pod,
Yeah, no, I will
and
be.
and
Emergency pod. Travis just dropped.
that's that'll be the first of its kind. My shout out goes to the listener, air horns. You know what I mean? Cowbell, ringing the bell. Shout out to
Mississippi
the
State,
listener.
baby.
And
Mississippi football.
it comes at a time when, and I'll weave this in, shout out to the tribal chief Roman Reigns. It's not his first shout out. If you haven't heard the rest of the episode, go check that one out. That was cool. Um, he's been world champion for over 1,000 days, and we are, as a podcast, going to surpass the 1,000 plays mark, and that's on one metric that I'm going off of, based off of one platform that everything's mostly streamlined through. We're available everywhere, but we're only 30. This is episode 32. Shout out to Magic. You know what I mean?
That's
He'll probably
magic.
be on the intro. This is episode 32, and I feel like I've been looking at this whole thing as like a child, and I can go back to day one with it, and then to kind of see where it's sitting right now, I scroll through the episode titles, and I'm like, oh, dude, that's right. I forgot
Huh.
about that. Like, oh, dude, the back half of that episode was cold. Like, just
I
seeing the
remember so
narrative,
many good moments. Yeah. Yeah.
what's been built.
Yeah. It's awesome. It is actually really awesome. And we definitely encourage everybody to express themselves creatively. Like creatively. What am I saying? Yeah, express yourself creatively, man. It's like healthy. It's seriously really healthy. And whether that's like in a podcast or like art or like writing, like just do it. It's cool. You know what I mean?
Whether it's reading, whether it's
Yeah.
pushing yourself in some
In the
capacity
gym.
creatively,
Yeah.
like you said, that's a great word, because I will testify to that. Since this pod began, I felt invigorated, just on a personal
Definitely.
level.
Definitely.
And it's motivating me to keep it going. And, you know, this is the off season for basketball. And you, dude, we can't tell the listener how many times we talked about this before we just kind of pressed go. And
Yeah.
we 100% pressed go and said, screw it, pop the disc in. Like,
Yeah.
let's see what it's talking about.
Yeah.
Like, we got it. We got the early access. Like, let's put that puppy on and let's see what's rolling. But
Literally.
it this was this was never an exclusively basketball idea. So now that we're branching out,
Yeah.
we're inviting guests, we're, seeing a trend. This 1,000 plays, this is some super arbitrary, just imaginary number, but we started with 0.
Yeah.
So
Big
that's
deal.
just where the shout out comes. And this isn't possible without you folks spending your time with us in your cars, at work, chilling, wherever the venue may be, at the gym. That's to know that folks are, pulling up a chair. That makes me really proud. And we're going to
Yeah,
keep it.
man.
We're going to keep doing this because of that. This was almost an emergency pod. I just said, Shiv, we need a casual diehard check-in.
I know.
Let's get on here and kick it.
We do
So
it for the fans, man.
we want to start this with the casual diehard
Let's
fantasy
do it.
football show,
We're here.
because the group chats are active again.
They are. They are. Mine is.
The
We're working through deciding the punishment this year. So, you know,
the
and
roll call is
and our
in.
our our group chat, the one where we got like the buy-in, that one is we're thinking about adding another flex, dude, which is so annoying. I'm not
The
for that.
I'm here for that.
Dude,
The general
stop.
manager
Like,
meetings are happening. Rule
dude.
changes are being
Yeah, yeah,
negotiated.
yeah, yeah. It's full on. Like everybody is. It's like you're in the war room, right? You got the president, you got the secretary of. It's like we are determining a strategic plan of action that dictates the next like 6 months of my fucking life.
Gentlemen, we are preparing for war.
Yeah, it's like we're negotiating the terms of like armed conflict.
No,
It's
no
like
more.
you got the
Hey,
freaking
it's time
United
to tighten
Nations
up.
meeting.
Like,
Literally, dude, it's like, bro, it's insane. I've never seen like, bro, imagine it.
pop the YouTube out. You know what I
Yeah, like
mean?
no, no, it's getting real.
Get in the
It's
mock
like it's
draft
like
lobby. Like,
yeah, yeah. Like it's like the nights you're like scrolling through Twitter, you're like, okay, hold on, let me do a little football deep dive here real quick. Let me
wait,
brush up
what
on
happened in camp?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Who's this rookie? What round? Like, okay, like what's
uh,
Andy Reid saying about him?
he's trending upward.
Yeah, like
Ah,
he's building early chemistry, and it's like, oh, I gotta remember that. Like, I gotta remember that in like 4 months.
they're not. They're
Dude,
not.
okay, but so here's my thing, right? Here's my thing with the extra flex, then we can go on to whatever. But my thing with the extra flex is at this point, like late in the draft, now I'm deciding between like Zach Pascal and like James Robinson. And it's like, Hunter Renfro might is the best player available at this position. Like what? Like, what am I picking between here? Like I'm trying to find freaking, like gold here.
We're gonna get into some draft strategy because last year. For one, going into last season, I was like, I don't want to play the cookie cutter format this year. But then comes the work of having to be the lobbyist or the whip that
Yeah.
has to
Yeah.
get everybody on board with
The
the new
Frank Underwood
plan.
of it all. The Frank
Bruh,
Underwood of it all. Literally, literally. Yeah. You got to find the weak link. You're like, all right, listen,
you got to
like,
count the numbers.
come
Who's on my
on.
side?
Like, listen, I got this other guy. Like, if you're down, this homie's down. Like,
Yeah, and if Jimmy's on, if Jimmy wants to do it, we can get it done.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, literally.
so with that being said, like the league that I started, that was like a family league. Um, I was in 3 or 4 leagues last year. I probably won't be in as many this year.
Two
Um,
max.
that one we threw a second quarterback, and wouldn't you know, in the years where quarterbacks have been a plenty in fantasy because you can only play one, the drop off after quarterback 10 on average was just insane. And guys are playing Matt Ryan. And it's like, oh my Lord, this backfired. And then somebody has the folks who looked crazy and took the swing and went and got Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. They're untouchable. I was in another league that had 3 receivers, which I was on board with, advocated for, didn't know that the scoring wasn't going to factor catches. What sense does that make? Because now we have 5 skill position players. Check that, 6. We have 3 receivers, a flex, and 2 running backs. All we're counting is yards and touchdowns, which I get, but I wasn't prepared for that wrinkle.
PPR is the only correct way to play fantasy football.
I'm a categories guy in basketball now, but yeah, you can tailor the points because I think that certain things should be weighted in fantasy. I don't like the basic the standard default rundown. I'll tilt things a little bit more. Let's make it fun. Let's make interceptions -2, or more than that. Let's make it -3. Like let's do something spicy. But this year, man, I'm joining I got promoted. I'm going to be in the A League. I'm in the A Work League.
There we go.
I'm in the George Knapp League.
You just inherited the franchise, and now it's time to now the expectations hit.
And this one has some of the most wonky scoring.
Really?
This one basically scores touchdowns, scores points scored damn near almost exclusively. Like you're getting the scoring is based off of say you had a 77-yard run, you got tackled at the end zone, and the backup punches it. Yeah. Backup's getting 6, and the guy who just bust the game open and could have had like a 15-point play.
Yeah,
is getting. I want to say yards don't count. It's getting nothing.
Yeah, it's getting
So you're like home run swinging with guys, but you still got to pick the guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's going to be strategic. So rule of the story is know your league, know the format, and know that before your draft. Know how the scoring is going to work.
100%.
Because you have to draft with the emphasis on the first 8 guys.
Yeah.
Because your roster will never be the same at the end of the season. You're going to have 5 guys in that draft that aren't on your team for the remainder of the season. So you got to value that top half, and know that unless you find a diamond in the rough, the guys after round 7, 8 are going to be interchangeable.
Yeah.
At some point, take value, but you got to hit the guys early. You can't draft the guys that are going to miss games. Yeah. And there's no way of knowing. I had Cooper Kupp last year.
Yeah. You got, I mean, and it could work in the inverse too, right? Like I took a flyer on DeAndre Hopkins, and I just had he wasn't out, right? So I couldn't put him on the IR. He was just occupying a bench spot. And I got clowned for that, but my team started clicking like
it hella paid off for you.
Dude, right around the time DeAndre Hopkins came back, I had Derrick Henry, Zeke, and James Conner all clicking as well. I think my quarterback was Jalen Hurts, and Jerry Jeudy was popping off too. So it's like we had Lazard. We both bought into Lazard. Lazard was like a consistent 15, like 12 to 15. And so, yeah, I mean, in previous years, and I guess this will be the segue, like in previous years, it was like, you want to make sure you get your backs. You want to get your running backs. You want to have like dynamic running backs. That is like the foundation for like a great fantasy team. But this year, dude, I don't know if I'm even touching a running back until round 3. I think my first 2 picks are definitely going to be like big time receivers. And also like position of when you draft determines a lot, right? Like people get excited with getting the number 1 overall pick, but personally, I don't enjoy that. I think picking like 4th or 5th is 100% the move in like an 8 or 10 team league. In 12, you probably want to pick around like 5, 6.
Because then you confidently take best available.
Yeah. Yeah, like
or
you're
like the guy that you wanted who you're just like, no, I'm taking him. I'm
exactly.
buying that.
I
Like,
had the
yeah,
fourth pick last year. I took Derrick Henry, and I was like co-champ of the league because of what happened in the Bills Bengals game. If you don't know, go.
crazy,
Yeah,
crazy ending.
I would have had it. I would have had the title. I'm not
We'll
gonna
never
lie.
know.
I
I
would. I
guess
would
we'll
have
never
had.
know.
Yeah, and now you know what? I got to go out and I got to win it again this year, and I look forward to doing that.
Sometimes you got to do it again to remind them.
Listen, listen.
Sometimes you got to create the Golden State Warriors Invitational. Sometimes you got to, folks, drop that in your group chat. Say, oh, y'all are ready for the whatever your team name is Invitational,
Yeah,
and see if that doesn't
dude.
set the tone.
I think last year I didn't even have a clever name. I think my team name last year was like YSL Hopkins. I'm just waiting for DeAndre Hopkins to get back. The whole
You're just waiting for a damn subpoena
dude,
to show up in court. No, I'm just playing.
dude, yeah, like I was dead in the water. I was kind of like, I was hovering around like fifth or sixth out of like 10 teams. I wasn't like gonna make the playoffs because it's only top four in our league. So I was like, whatever. And then D Hop comes back and I just start going crazy, bro.
It's a
And I'm
marathon,
telling you
not a
also.
sprint. It's a
Yeah,
marathon, not a
it is.
sprint.
It is, man. And I don't think people who don't play fantasy football don't understand, man. You lose if you get blown out on a Sunday, your week is fried, bro. You're done. You're not talking to a single person. You're watching the Monday
No,
night game hella mad because now,
you're not going on a date. You're not going
dude,
to the gym, or
you're
you're
not
doing
trying to do
something.
anything.
You're doing something that is blocking out the noise. Like
Yeah, like you're just,
you're on
oh
reach.
my
You're not
God.
responding to texts.
Yeah, if people are talking in the fantasy group chat, you're not reacting to a message even.
You're probably late for work the next day
Yeah,
because
you're
you just can't
literally,
win at life at that point.
dude, it's frustrating, bro. Every loss feel but conversely, like every win is just like
Yeah,
it's like yeah, like nah,
yeah.
it's like yeah, like it really is going into the Coliseum and just one on one, you and the Spartan.
You're saying what's up the first. You're the first one to say what's up the next
Yeah,
day.
you're
You're like,
texting good morning
what
to
up,
your friend.
Brady?
Yeah, nah, for
What's up,
real.
dog? How you doing?
Yeah, it's like, yo, it's a good game, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Ah,
No, man, it's real. It's real. It's a lot of fun. It's super engaging. Even if you don't play with
I
like
got
stakes involved or anything, like I would
yeah.
encourage you to just get involved because it also helps you understand football a lot more. It helps you understand like the strategy of football and like why certain positions are valued at like a certain weight.
Speaking of value, if you listen to our last podcast with JB the Ticket, for one, good job, good for you. You got you learned something. I bet that you didn't know before listening to that pod. Secondly, he mentioned a nugget in passing so casually that might have went over some folks' heads. I had my first off day in a week today. I didn't check in with any of the daily shows. I don't know how heavily it was reported on. It was more of a, you know, push alert sort of thing than it was a topic talking segment. But everybody's been paying attention to the running back controversy, the running back battle, the
Yeah.
negotiations involving the likes of Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cooks,
Yep.
and we're at an impasse. We're at a kind of point in time that we didn't expect because the running backs are showing this unity out of nowhere. And we haven't seen
Yeah.
any sort of collective going against the grain or rebellion in the NFL. And
Yeah.
it's like, are we tiptoeing on the lines of that? Are
No,
we
it is.
like, is 2023 the year of the strike? Like, what are we on the verge of?
Well,
There
so
was a
let's paint
meeting
let's paint the
held.
issue a little more.
There was a meeting held that, JB mentioned, and that we're going to talk about a players only meeting held. JB
Yeah,
talked about Austin Eckler and some of these guys the week prior.
doing like
And
a Zoom call too.
like I said, this conversation has picked up steam. And it's being reported on, but all from the same perspective. It's everybody kind of having the same conversation about it. What's unfortunate is that it just seems like a losing battle in
Yeah.
my eyes that the running backs are fighting, because things evolve, and the NFL is a business, and it's going to be ran like a business. And shout out to Gilbert Arenas. He had a nugget on his podcast pretty much saying, hey, you young folks, stop arguing with your coach. Stop thinking your coach is holding you back, because guess what? Whoever you play under, it's his team, it's his rules. He's got the final say. He knows more than you, and you are going to have to figure out how to thrive in that system. And that was the abstract version. Gil kind of got to it in the verbatim statement and what he said on his pod, but in certain settings, you have to realize the room and the layout and the flow of things. You have to fall in line, so to speak. Don't not fight the fight that you want to fight. So that's why I am just intrigued at this, because what's really going on.
Yeah.
Bringing this back to fantasy, folks, ignore running back early on. That's take whatever I'm saying with a grain of salt, because I'll live and die with whatever I get into bed with come fantasy draft time, and you do the same. But I will be addressing receiver repeatedly at the top, and quarterback early, because those are the positions that you're going to have to hold on to. And we don't know some of the status of some of the most impactful running backs going into the year. So you can't miss with those first 2-round picks, because those quality of guys just aren't there on the board come round 4. And you got to nail yours at the top to come out on top in the league.
That's real. That's super real. I mean, you got to feel for the running backs in this situation, because not only are they not getting what they deserve because their body takes arguably the most physical punishment outside of like obviously being on the line. Um, but it's also like the emergence of rookie running backs that are just really good too. So it's like they're not getting paid for what they do, because when a running back performs incredibly well or over the expectation, the common perception is like, oh, they only have like maybe 2 years left. So let's just draft another one and just, you know what I mean? And then that's how like the cycle just keeps churning out these backs. But at the same time, you have like guys like Jameer Gibbs who got drafted who are slated to make an immediate impact just based on their talent.
Right.
So it's tough, man. I feel
No,
for running
the
backs. They need to get
rookies.
paid because their body goes through a ton of physical punishment. You know what I mean? That's just the reality.
Yeah. Nah, man, if you're listening to this, make sure you check out what JB was talking about the evolution of positions and football, and how that's being trickled down at the youth level. And that's just what we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're drafting, I would say rookies are valuable. Rookies are valuable assets that are worth going to grab while they're still there.
Yeah.
Because trust
Especially running backs.
the Bijan Robinsons, the Zay Flowers, the impact the CJ Strouds, the Bryce Youngs, the Anthony Richardsons. These team owners are not going to trade them.
Yeah.
So if you want to see where it goes with that guy in fantasy, dude, how I lost sleep over not getting Justin Fields last year. And you know what's crazy? I drafted him.
Yeah.
Drafted him, dropped him, making moves early in the first couple of weeks of the season, went to try and circle back, get the homie. I was ahead on the trend of that even a week or so. And then you just have to live and die with wherever you are in the waiver wire.
Yeah. That's
Tough
real,
one.
dude.
Tough. But I was on to the idea of Justin Fields. You can't swing too hard. after the first couple of weeks of the season because, of course, they were ugly. And then what? He was phenomenal.
He was phenomenal.
And those are like, league winning type of performances. So if you want some of those guys, I'll drop you one more here. I've said it already, but Michael Mayer is going to be incredible at the tight end position for the Las Vegas Raiders. We got Renfro healthy. We got Devontae Adams healthy, doing his thing. If you heard JB, the Raiders are probably going to move off of Josh Jacobs. So we're going to get even more pieces on the dollar. We have a much, safer passer at the helm now than Derek Carr had become. So trust and believe that this Josh McDaniels tight end New England system is going to infiltrate Michael Mayer. And with Devontae and Renfro commanding attention, his brother's going to cook on everything in between. He was a Mackey finalist or winner in his college career. He went to Notre Dame, tight end university. Get Michael Mayer in round 5 or 6 if you can. And if you're in my league and you're listening to him, you better not steal him. But if you do, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not going to hate you. But, yeah, man, that running back situation is a big one. I'd say that you just got to make your list of guys that you would actually want because you think their situation is good. And the best ability is availability. We both had Ezekiel Elliott last year. Yep. And folks banged on him. Guess what he was? Pretty darn 50. Consistent.
Every time they got to the goal line, his touches, boom, he's getting you a touchdown right there. And down at the end of the season, when the ACLs and the Achilles and the hammies and the calves and the broken arms all add up, you need guys. You need guys that are going to play and be consistent. So, yeah, availability is huge in fantasy football. In fantasy basketball, you can always find guys through the waiver wire because there's so many.
You really can, yeah.
But in fantasy football, your best, somebody is going to pick up someone on the waiver wire that is going to win them the league. That is just a fact of every fantasy league. So if you're going to make a waiver wire pick, you got to be very diligent in the first 3 to 4 weeks of the season. You got to get your guy off there and replace whatever guy's not doing anything on your roster. You can't be too stagnant in fantasy ever. You got to find a team in those first couple weeks, go through the shuffling, and then move off the guys that you're confident on not playing.
Pacheco was another guy that if you look in our fantasy archive, you'll see I had him on my roster before he was even getting touches. Because I said, what? Kansas City has a running back that runs a 4.35 40, and you're telling me that Andy Reid's not going to figure out how to get that fool on the field? And he was another one that I fumbled in the shuffling of the deck from week to week because, like I said, I was on him early. But you gotta keep your eyes peeled for the guys that you see potential in, and just kind of know when to strike, know when to hold them. Don't doubt, go with your gut tight. But man,
I'm trying to find my roster from last year. Oh no, my team was free D-Hop. That was my team
D-Hop,
name.
yeah. I remember. we shared plenty screenshots.
Dude, what a legendary year that was. Fantasy.
And you know what, folks? Dope. You know what, guys? If you want to be in the inaugural, we're going to do a Shiv because it's a shame that we weren't in a competitive league together last year. If you want to be in the inaugural Diehard University Fantasy League, terms and conditions to be finalized in a group chat later assembled.
Let's do it. I'm down.
We got 10 spots, max 12, minimum 8. If you want to be in the Diehard University Podcast Fantasy Football League, hit us up. You will have Shiva and myself in it, and at least a few other members of our alumni directory.
Any and everyone, welcome. We're
ready. You'll get some friends of the show. You'll get some names in there for sure. And let's do that.
Dude,
that announcement happened on air.
I'm looking at the old roster. Do you remember how often I was banking on Gerald Everett? The Chargers said it. He was cooking though. He would cook, dude. He would cook.
You
Bro, at
tight
the end,
end, you got to value
oh
that. You
my
got to value who
God.
you're playing there.
Cam Akers also popped off so much at the end of the year last year, so randomly after being hot garbage. Like the first 12 games of the season.
We're
I
going to talk.
traded for Devontae Smith. Yeah,
Yeah,
make a trade. Also trade
yeah.
in
Make a trade.
fantasy.
Make a trade.
Make a trade. It's good for the league. Like,
Yeah.
it's good for the league. You want to encourage trading. I understand. One team's gonna get better. That's the reality of the trade. If you don't like it, make one of your own to get better, or just don't say anything.
And also make a trade, but stop sending these damn 2-for-1
Bogus
trades.
ones. I'm not
Stop
giving you like
stop sending the
I'm
two
not
for
giving
ones.
you yeah, literally, dude. And some people I understand they don't understand fully what they're proposing, but like if you know what you're doing and you're doing that just to troll, it's funny once or twice, but like if you want to make a serious trade, make a serious trade. Otherwise, like buzz off.
It's like,
Like
dude, I'm not gonna give you Jonathan Taylor for Cortland Sutton and you know what I mean, Kyler Murray.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm
like
not like, and that would that one's borderline acceptable over like talking Kyler and depending on what you need, but like stop
Kyler's
sending.
cooked this year though. Kyler's cooked. He like he's hurt, right?
Yeah,
Plus, I'm
no,
just not a big believer in Kyler, bro. I
yeah,
know,
just
I know he's
stay away
dope.
from certain teams.
Yeah,
Stay away,
yeah,
all the way away.
yeah. Don't outsmart yourself. Don't outsmart yourself.
Right. No, man, these are these this is good stuff, man. We're going to talk even more football. Like this was like the informational
Yeah, it
meeting
was
because we just had to see what the energy, what the
what the
interest
vibe
level
was around
was.
football. What the vibe was around football. We're here for it, man. We watch a lot of football. Don't get it twisted. Like we watch every weekend. Like we're watching football every weekend. I remember last year in LA, like we literally hit each other up after like the first set of games, and it's like, dude, I'm getting smoked because freaking Jerry Judy because Russell Wilson can't throw the ball downfield against the Jaguars.
There was a in between morning and afternoon game check in of all right,
Yeah.
yo, I got 3 spots left. It's looking kind of nasty.
I need
I
something from Lazard.
need this one, bro.
Yeah, like I lost the last two, bro.
Like,
I can't
all
go
right. So
into
look, right now it's 95-60, but
yeah. but I only need 25 from Derrick Henry, and he's going up against the best defense in the league. Like he might like do some goat stuff. Like it's like, dude, what am I convincing myself of right now? And
and
it's like,
then
dude, do you really
you just spend 3 hours dreading every punt, and you're just like,
yeah.
oh my
You're
god,
like,
dude,
dude.
you dead ass.
I'll never forget. I got upset because Derrick Henry threw for a touchdown, which was only 4 points. When they could have just used him to punch it in and I got the 6. And guess how much I lost by that week, bro? I lost by 1.4. I remember like, bro, I was so mad, dude. Because I had like 20 from Henry, 15 from like I had a good week. But the dude like got like
That's the worst when you lose in the shootout. It's like, dude, we
bro, yeah,
dropped the 120, we
because your
dropped the
team might not do it
125 in the
again.
L.
Because your team might not do it again, bro. Because they might not do it
You're
again.
swiping through, and there's some fool who won with like 88. And it's like, Jesus Christ, bro. Give me a break, dude.
You put up like 125 and you lost because the dude across from you put up 147 because Justin Jefferson had 43.
Dude, because
Like,
Brosman said because Lamar Jackson showed his ass in Monday Night Football. And it's like, bro, come on, dude.
it's like, dude, oh, he's got Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. I might have a shot. Trevor Lawrence finishes with like 32. And you're like, dude. Like,
Let's go from one um roller coaster ride, emotional roadblock incoming to another one and talk betting because we on our way out of here, we're not gonna do this for too long, folks. We didn't get to talk about the NBA Cup and the in-season tournament.
oh,
And folks, they have odds. The odds are up. The odds are up for in-season tournament futures, both overall cup winners and group winners.
oh my God.
That to me is just one indicator of why this will be a success in the basketball culture and online and raise overall fan interest for the first third of the season, because this gives you reason to watch, and we don't know how this is going to play out. This is the first one of its kind. I'm looking at this, bro. Say something weird just happens over the month of October and November in the early goings of the NBA season. Remember, the New Orleans Pelicans were a top 4 team up until like Christmas last year. I'm looking at this right now. To win, just exhibit A, to win Group A in the East, which means you had the best record against these opponents in a 5-team group, and you just came out that month with the W. The Detroit Pistons are plus 1,600, meaning a $50 bet gets you $800 if for some reason the Pistons outplay the Pacers, Hawks, Cavaliers, and 76ers in the month of November.
That's insane. I mean, yeah, I don't, dude.
And
I
let
don't know
me
how
tell
I would
you,
bet on this.
that's
I don't.
not too far from reality.
No, it's not.
That's
You
very
could talk yourself
possible.
into any team.
Detroit's getting a healthy Cade to start the year. They got these fools, Duran and Wiseman, cooking. They got their whole damn starting lineup out here in Summer League getting reps.
Yeah.
Azar Thompson looks ready to play. Ivy's ready to play. You got Hayes in the backcourt still.
Yeah.
You got the veteran Bogdanovich ready to come in when they get rolling again. That's 8 bodies that are ready to get busy.
Yeah. I mean,
that's just the storyline.
No. I mean,
an unknown
that's the good
before
thing
this
about the cup.
begins.
It could be anybody. It
We
could be
don't
anybody.
know.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like, who knows, man? Like, Wemby could just have a good month, and all of a sudden he's like literally, and they get to like
The Lakers were terrible until the All-Star break.
Yeah.
You're telling me one of these teams just can't, that a group of these teams and we're going to see a Cinderella team in this tournament. That's what makes tournaments fun.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's real.
It's the unpredictable.
I'm here for it. I think a lot of the hate I get, like, I understand, but at the same time, like, you're going to get some high intensity basketball with this Final Four, and you're getting it at a really dead point in the season. So I'm here for that. It gets its own thing before you get like the NCAA March Madness. It comes before the college football playoff too. So like you kind of get rolling with smooth sports because you're getting the World Series and baseball playoffs, which get electric. And if you don't think they get electric, you're crazy. Right. So I'm here for that.
College football Saturday, big game Saturday, big game Sunday.
You're getting fantasy on Sunday,
Monday night football.
Yeah.
You're getting prime television and movies and holidays.
I'm here for it.
Come on, dude.
People are tripping. People are definitely tripping. Teams are going to take it seriously. Not every team is going to take it seriously, obviously.
Right.
Duh. But like the teams that do take it seriously, it's going to be lit. I'm here for it.
I said this to Darrell on the Summer League Threads episode where I was at NBA Con for the announcement. And he said, I still don't get it. What's the incentive? What are we playing for? What's the purpose? I said, I mean, is winning the worst thing ever? Do you want to hold the L or do you want to hold the bragging rights?
Yeah.
And do you want the opportunity to see how your core plays in a version of stakes? And the guys can win some cash. It's $500K on the line for the winners. Yeah. There's incentive.
Per player?
Yes.
Winning bonus. That's crazy. No, man. I mean,
there's incentive.
There's definitely incentive. There's definitely incentive.
Tell me, if you're just a finalist, you don't hit New Year's Eve and New Year's Day with some confidence, saying like, "Hey, we were just playing the Phoenix Suns in the damn Final Four, and it came down to the fourth quarter. We can run."
And there's going to be a matchup that's going to come back in the playoffs at some point too.
And this was, I'll say this again. I don't even know if this was on this episode. This is the beauty of the cup, because Adam Silver said this. He said, "New traditions take time." This is what, imagine this,
Look at the college football playoff.
dude, right?
Transition from BCS, where it's just 1v2 to now like top four.
Yeah, everybody has a shot. Let's buy in. Let's, expand interest and intrigue, and let's get investment in this for sure.
Yeah.
Say the year is 2010. 2009, actually. It's 2009.
Yeah.
It's December, first week of December. The Final Four in the NBA Cup is the Lakers, it's the Suns, it's the Cavs, and it is the, let's see,
Celtics.
2009.
Celtics.
It is the, yeah, well, that'd be if just the best teams made it. I was trying to throw like maybe
Boston's getting knocked out of the tournament. No shot.
That year they probably weren't, and it's the Boston Celtics. So
you think KG's letting that slide,
dude? So mutual sight, right? You get Nash and the Suns versus Kobe and Powell and the Lakers with stakes. That's already a rivalry. So you're just adding, prestige to a yeah. You're just adding, a whole bunch of gasoline.
People are missing
on this rivalry. In the East, you're seeing LeBron versus this big three that's coming off a championship.
Exactly.
In 2009.
I mean, what are people mostly complaining about? It's like the lack of competition and like that fire of like the older NBA is where it's a little more personal, and we're adding that now because now people don't, because the way the league is transitioned is regular season doesn't matter as much because you got to win in the postseason. And so now you add incentive in the regular season that sets up even more postseason drama. Like, dude, it's an incredible move. I understand the injury concerns and the health risks, but
it's not. It's nothing different. It's next game mentality anyway. That's why we love it. It's making the most of games that are being played anyway. And
if you're a basketball player, you're always down for a basketball tournament. AAU weekends were so fun, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like
they go down, they go down as a memory. Like, and so in this hypothetical, Lakers beat the Suns, Cavs beat the Celtics. What did we never get in the finals? LeBron versus Kobe. Exactly. Say we were able to say in the year 2009, we had LeBron versus Kobe in their absolute primes in the championship game of the NBA Cup. And we got to see one of them hoist a trophy afterward and come out on top. We just got to see it on a stage for a championship.
Yeah, for incentive.
That would be an all-time. If that happened in the year 2009 and we still went on to never get them in the finals, that would be one of the most memorable encounters of the generation.
Yeah.
The picture of Kobe Garden Jordan at like the top of the key. We would have pictures from that game that go down as classic, iconic shots and moments and tune in level and must see kind of just moments to play out. And it's gonna be played in Las Vegas. I'll do what I can to maybe mosey my way in there if it's possible.
Of course.
But that's about it, man. Like I said, I just wanted to get you casual diehards, folks, that they're gassed off journalistics. They thought that because it's the off season, we can't just do this. Like, we don't do this. And
also shout out to Drake. He's running a tour right now, which I'm seeing in Dallas. So I'm popping out. And this tour looks crazy. Also, shout out to Future and Metro. They keep teasing their collab. I'm ready for that.
Shout out to all the 36 G's in the world. I mean,
dude. 0 for 2.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
0 for 2. If you want to touch this ball again, you better rebound. That's what Jordan said.
Sometimes you take the shot that pisses off the entire team, because why not?
The Robert Covington transition 3.
Hey, I thought I was going to make it.
Hey, it was good look.
I was feeling it.
It's like when you're playing on 2K in the park and you missed the first 3 because you were just kind of bullshitting, right? Like you shoot the first one, you're like, all right, I'm making.
Yeah, the timing snuck up on you.
Yeah. You get to the corner, all of a sudden that dude closed out a little too fast, and you're like, oh, hold on. Let me go try to grab a board. Like, let me stay in front of my man a little
Oh,
bit.
y'all aren't swinging it to me. Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
for sure.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
Like
literally,
you didn't see the one
literally,
more.
literally, bro, literally. Oh my God. Oh man, it's all
Man,
good.
that's we're gonna put it right there. Stamp it. Fantasy is getting live and well. The NBA Cup will be here before you know it. Football training camps happening. I
Get
hope
ready.
everybody is making the most of their summers. If you are, if you can. Shout out to Jo, Big Jace on the beat, taking us on.
Yeah,
Till next time, folks.
let's get it.